Welcome to Tucker Carlson Today. The show you're about to see is the product of an amazing experience that, I'll just be personal, that I just had for the last 18 hours. Sitting down, eating a couple meals with, having the person you're about to meet stay at our house last night and this morning was just a remarkable experience. Of all the many people over 31 years I've interviewed, the person you're about to hear from is one of the deepest, the wisest, and most transparent, really, of any of them. And so you may be a little surprised to learn that man is Mike Tyson.
All right.
One of the greatest boxers in the history of the world, and a man who's been famous since those of us who are 53 were children. It turns out he's learned a lot from Mike Tyson. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's just, you're one of those people who everyone has an opinion about, and mostly positive, sometimes negative, and that was just like the most interesting experience I've had in many, many years. But I want to start with a question.
What?
That is totally off base, but I just find it really compelling, and maybe our viewers will too. So last night at dinner, I knew that you kept pigeons. I didn't really understand what that was, and I didn't understand why you were interested in that. Can you just start with that? Tell us, what does it mean to keep pigeons? How are you interested in this? What is this?
Okay, listen. It's a little bit of a long story.
It's okay.
I was a young kid in school, probably 9, 10 years old, but I never went to school. I go to school, I eat breakfast, and I stop, and I just walk around the school, hang out in the neighborhood, wait till lunch comes, and I go eat lunch, and then leave the school, and then I wait till 3 o'clock, and then I go home. Right now, I always skip school because people was kicking my ass all the time. So,
where did you grow up?
In Brooklyn, Brownsville, Brooklyn. At this time, I lived in Ocean Hill. It's up the hill from Brownsville, but it's still Brownsville. So I'm waiting in school, and these guys come up to me, a little kid, a little older than me, and they say, "You got any money?" I said, "No, I've never been ripped off before." I said, "No." He said, "All I find, all I keep." It means if I find money on you, I keep it. I let them search me. And then he said this. I never heard this word before. "Yo, you want to fly with us?" I said, "Okay." I was a young kid, 9 years old. I'm younger than Morocco. I said, "Okay." He said, "Climb that fence and give me those crates." Crates are where, I'm going to tell you what the crates are for. I get the crates, so I'm climbing the fence, come over, and I'm carrying. They made me carry everything. So I'm carrying it, they take me to a abandoned building, and I get nervous. I don't know what they're going to do with me in this building, but still I go in the building, I'm scared, a little bit crying. And next thing you know, I go up to the roof, and I'm passing them crates, and then I climb to the roof, and I see a little box with tin on it, and it was pigeons, trains flying around. I was like, whoa. And these guys, they were horrible pigeons because they fly, they go to other buildings, and they say, "You're sure to go over in that building and scare the bird off. You go buy us some food, buy us some cookies, buy us some cigarettes." And so at the end of the day, when school was over, they said, "Get the fuck out of here." And so I left, and I didn't want to come back to school today, but I liked those pigeons. So I went back to the pigeon guys where they kidnapped me pretty much, and they saw me. "What the fuck are you doing here? You want to steal our bird?" And they're throwing bricks at me. And I said, no, I just want to know if your guys need me to go to the store or do anything for you. And they said, "Yeah, come up here." And then I was there, I don't know, they got to go to Gopher. And then one day I wanted to have birds. So that's how I got involved with birds.
What is having pigeons? So they're kept in coops on the roofs of buildings in Brooklyn when you were a kid. What do they do?
The coop pretty much represents how much money you have. So if you have a crappy coop, most likely you're a broke kid. And if you have one of those for luxurious coops, most likely you have money. So the guys that with the horrible birds would go rob the beautiful birds' coops. And that's why we had birds. I couldn't afford birds, so we used to steal birds. And then I started stealing money. And so I could buy birds. Because if the guys catch you on the roof, they're going to throw you off the roof. They might kill you. So I started stealing money and from my mother's friends and stuff, and I started buying pigeons. And then some young boys that I was with, I thought were my friends.
You stole the money to buy pigeons?
Yes.
So you were totally obsessed with pigeons?
Oh, totally. Once those guys showed me those birds, I was a mess. I was stealing money to buy them. And one day I told somebody where my birds were, and he told some older boys, and they came to take my birds. And I was saying, "Please, no, don't take my birds, please." I was just panicked. And one guy managed to put a bird on his shirt and ran. And I was saying, "Please, give me my bird back." And this guy was bad. He said, "Fuck you, fat motherfucker, you want this bird?" And he ripped the bird head off. He hit me with the body, and he hit me in the head with the bird's head. And I never had a fight with somebody before. And somebody said, "You better fight him." And I fought him, and I kicked his ass. I never fought before in my life. And that day, I started fighting every day.
How old were you?
9.
9. How big were you at 9?
Big.
You're big.
Big.
So you never had fought before and didn't know you were good at it?
Over a pigeon. That's what it's all about, with that pigeon.
Incredible. So that was, so you're 56?
Yeah.
So that was 45 years ago or something. Have you had pigeons your whole life?
My whole life. Even when I didn't want them, I had them. I just have to have them.
Do you keep them now?
Yeah.
You keep pigeons at your house?
Yes.
What do they do, the pigeons?
They're my security.
They're your...
Yeah.
Why do you like them so much?
I have no idea why. Me and my friends were talking. We had birds for he had birds for 40 years. He said, I don't even know why I like them. We don't know. You don't know. You just, once they're in your life, they stay.
And you know other people who keep pigeons?
Royal families, Europe. Every royal family has pigeon coop. They race the birds to show who has the best birds. The most expensive pigeon in the world, as I told you yesterday, is $2 million.
It's a whole world I knew nothing about.
It's a world that no one knows anything about, but mostly the elite.
Interesting. So you're 9, you start stealing money to buy pigeons.
Yeah.
I should say, just because you told me this last night, that all throughout your life, when you've traveled, everywhere you've been, you always have brought pigeons with you.
Yes.
Amazing. What happened after you're 9? So that's when you begin fighting. When did you decide that you were going to become a boxer? I
knew I was coming to boxing when I was like 13 years old. I went to a boys' school. But this other place I went in Spofford, before I went to this boys' school, I went to this detention center in Bronx, New York called Spofford. And in there, Muhammad Ali came to talk to the kids. And once I saw it, I said, wow, I want to be like him.
So you were in a boys' school. It wasn't Andover,
No.
It was like a reform school.
It was a school where people did bad crimes, robberies, murders. It's like in the prison.
So it was like a juvenile prison.
Yes.
And Muhammad Ali visited.
Yeah, somebody must have said, come visit these kids. And he visited these kids and he inspired me. So that's why I want to be like him.
Amazing. So I want to get through the whole progression of how you wound up where you are. But first, just for the one viewer in the world who isn't familiar with the highlights of your career, we've got a soundbite here of them.
That was a right to the body and an uppercut to the head, and Berbick is down. This one is going to be over.
Down in a professional fight.
And he's down again and in serious trouble.
He hasn't done that tonight. I wonder if that's a change of plan.
What a left hook.
A fighter cannot be saved by the bell as the big right hand lands. Tyson knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has...
For whom everybody predicts a great future. If they can find some fights, then...
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
Razor is down.
Tell what another punch hurt.
Tubbs is hurt. Tubbs is hurt badly.
And 10 seconds to go in a round. There's a left hand. He's down again. It's over. And Thomas in trouble again. And now Tyson moves in for the kill. 2 uppercuts and a left hand. Thomas trying to hold on. Serious trouble. And down he goes.
With about 20 seconds to go. Backs off from a sharp right uppercut to the body by Tyson. Again!
Davey Pearl looking very closely. And that's all. It's over.
3-pound weight advantage. And he put it all there.
And once again, the legs twitch. Hosea in trouble. And down.
Trying to sum it up. Get it. Oh, and there's a double left hook by Tyson. But it's Tyson who appears to have those keys to victory.
Tyson comes out with a strong right-hand barrage again.
This is as bad as I've ever seen Donnie Long look, but give Tyson credit.
There's only so much punishment anybody can take. That is the limit. Left hook. Good night.
Rest there, but he has felt.
Back comes Sheldon. He's in danger. Oh, there it is, right hand. He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought McGillian Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno.
Amazing. Boxing, there was never anything like that in boxing. How much of that do you remember?
I remember very little of it, but I remember the key moments, though.
Yeah. So that all began, it's almost like out of a movie, when Muhammad Ali visited.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Right after that, I went to this other reform school, and there's a professional ex-fighter that trains people in there. You know, we got tension, he lets us box with him and stuff. They would never let no one do that now in the
Never.
In the prison.
Never. I should say, I kind of skipped over because it's the details are awful, but you had a really tough childhood, like not a joke at all.
No, I'm not ashamed of my I'm really proud of my childhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no advantages.
Yeah, my disadvantage was my advantage.
What do you mean?
My adversity inspired me to be more than what I truly was.
I believe that. So you are inspired by Ali, then you go to a different reform school, and they have a former fighter there who trains you. Is that the point when you realize you're going to do this for a living?
Yeah, but this is what's interesting. When I came there, I was in another facility on that campus, and I believe I don't want to say I stabbed somebody, but I had an altercation with somebody. So I came, when he met me, I had handcuffs, and I'm rearrested, and I was a mess. And so when the guys were talking to me, because they said, well, you're not a bad guy because you did that. So we talked. He said, if we have an ex-fighter, Bobby Steele, you need to meet him. He'll probably get you in shape. And I said, well, I would love to meet him. I met Muhammad Ali. I seen Muhammad Ali once. And then this guy knocks on my door. I heard you want to talk to me. What do you want? I said, I want to be a fighter. He said, everybody wants to be a fighter. You show me you want to be a fighter. Let's just see how your conduct is. And I went from being a really jerky, nasty guy to becoming an ace.
Really?
Yeah, and then he started training me.
What was it about that? Is the discipline that he imposed?
Yes. I wanted to be a fighter so bad.
If you hadn't become a professional boxer, what would you have done?
There's no doubt. I was going to be that champ.
You knew you were going to be at what age?
13, 14.
And 4 years later, you were?
7 years later.
7 years later. So when did you meet Customato?
When I was 12. I was at the facility, and the guy drove me to meet him. Because I made my levels in there. I was a trustee now.
Yes.
I was a good kid, a trustee, so I can go to I can get off campus and go visit them.
What was he like?
Total disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Take no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Not a weak man.
No signs of weakness.
Yeah.
No signs of weakness. If you didn't conduct yourself the way he conducted yourself, you're not Italian. He's gonna tell you what Italian is. If he saw like, what are those guys? Paulie Shore. What's the Paulie name? The Italian guys, the Jersey Shore guys. Yeah. Those are not Italian. I said, cuss. They're Italian. They are not Italian. He would say something like that. If you don't conduct yourself, Italians only conduct themselves like this. He's not Italian. He was that kind of guy.
Amazing. So
Nothing playful. Nothing playful.
Nothing playful?
We had to tease him, talk behind his back. There's nothing playful about him.
And you liked that?
Hey, you know what? I loved it. Someone cared about me.
Yeah.
And if anybody say something to me, I punch him in the face, attack him.
So interesting. Because most teenage
you don't
boys...
say nothing about me. He'll attack you physically.
Were you ever afraid?
I was always afraid of him. I'm afraid of him now. Like that. He made sure you were afraid of him.
And you liked that?
Listen, we were on the 3rd floor, right? And we're talking crap. Yeah, we're talking about girls and stuff. And then we hear he's coming and saying, everybody stop talking. And then he comes and said, hey, I heard everybody laughing from the 1st floor. I come up here and not laughing. I want to know what's funny. I want to laugh too. Then nothing, because we were just talking. You know, because he was just on our back. Because we told him we were talking about girls. That's what you do. Girls are nothing on your mind. You have to get girls off your mind. How you going to be champion just thinking about girls, okay? So we never told him what we think about. No, because we're not doing nothing. We just up here talking, nothing. Talking about what? I want to know. You guys are all laughing. The whole house is up in the chairs laughing. I want to know. I come on stage and stop laughing. Why? And, you know, the guy, he's scared to death to say anything.
But, I mean, you were like twice as big as him.
No.
Definitely saved the GoPro this time. No, but you got him dead centered. Look, that's where the bullet came out right there. There's a fast moving around. Crushed.
No blood?
No entrance wound?
No exit wound?
What the fuck?
Nobody knew him. Nobody was there with him.
His family members say they never thought he could do this. I spoke with his Aunt Shelby, who was in disbelief. Do you have any idea why he flipped?
See, everybody has their own, like I said, their own perspective of everything going on. Nobody knows what everybody holds. Everybody holds things inside. People go through things, and nobody understands.
She says she has no idea why he targeted this elementary school.
This shouldn't have happened like this, and I'm sorry to all the families. Like, my heart aches. I have babies. My son goes to the same school. Like, my heart hurts for everyone. Nobody knew him. Nobody was there with him.
Nobody knew him. Nobody was there with him.
This shouldn't have happened like this, and I'm sorry to all the families. Like, my heart aches. I have babies. My son goes to the same school. Like, my heart hurts for everyone right now. I'm sorry to all the families. Like, my heart aches. I have babies. My son goes to the same school. Like, my heart hurts for everyone right now.
During Tuesday's senseless massacre.
That racist young man took my mother away. I am the eldest daughter of Ruth Whitfield. She was my best friend. What am I to do? What am I supposed to do now? I keep seeing her face coming up everywhere I look, but I can't kiss her, I can't hug her. We were supposed to go see the Temptations play that night, and I have the tickets still on my table. The Temptations play that night, and I have the tickets still on my table.
Buffalo shooting was Saturday, May 14th, 2022.
Not impossible to drive 15 hours to a concert.
It ain't likely, especially W, when the Temptations had a show in Buffalo the following week.
Again, the Buffalo shooting was on a Saturday.
Now how the fuck did the shooter get to see the judge?
Gotta be that white privilege.
Only a white racist can get court to open on their day off.
Helpful and very informative for us. We want to head back to the scene now. Tara Lynch has been there, as we said, almost from the beginning when this word broke about what happened there. And she has more information for us right now. Tara?
Yes, Jackie, we have been here all afternoon, and we are joined right now by Congressman Tom Suozzi and Diana Reyna. They are running for governor and lieutenant governor here in New York, but they happen to be in the Buffalo area today. But you're here now on Jefferson Avenue, Mr. Congressman. So please tell me a little bit about what you've heard and what is going on here today.
I think people are just devastated. It's hard to imagine that people have to be subjected to this type of violence, that this type of racism exists. I've been told, I don't know if it's true or not, that the shooter had racial epithets on his guns. It's just devastating. And this has got to prime and stamping out hate has got to be a priority here in our state and throughout our country. And we just want to show support for the community and for the families that are here.
And I know that both of you are from the New York City area, but when you hear that something like this is happening in the second largest city in the state that you are running to represent, what does that mean for you? When you hear those things, what are you thinking about?
This is a great loss, and there are no words that can describe the situation right now. This is exactly what divides country, and this is the time when we have to stand by one another and be strength and pillars of strength for others who are experiencing what is crime at the closest level. I can never have imagined that we were visiting Buffalo today and that this would have happened. Our hearts go out to the families, to the victims, to the community, to law enforcement. This is exactly what we have to start fixing together. This kind of hate is what is destroying America.
And both of you are running for the state's highest and second highest office here. We're seeing crime uptick in your area in New York City. We're seeing it here in Buffalo. We're seeing it in Elmira, New York, a smaller city.
State.
So what do we do about that?
You know, since day one, we have said that crime has got to be the #1 priority of what the state is dealing with right now. And when you add the fact that this was a violent gun crime and that it seems like it was a racially motivated crime, this can't be an afterthought. This has got to be a priority, the #1 priority that we're focusing on. We've tried to make it a priority, and we hope that the people in office now hear our voices and hear the community's voices and say this has got to be the #1 priority, because This is real life. Families are suffering right this minute. They're devastated right this minute because their loved ones' lives have been taken away from them. And we cannot treat this as an afterthought.
When you say we can't treat it like an afterthought, it sounds like you want to take a proactive approach. How do we be proactive in terms of the gun crime here in New York State?
We have to get the guns off the street. We have to support the law enforcement's efforts to get guns. We have to make sure that we, yeah. They probably came from South Carolina too.
Well, thank you so much, Congressman Diana Reyna. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're going to send it back to you in studio.
You can hear tensions there at the scene. This is just so many emotions flooding out there. We have Mike Hughes on the line, and Mike Hughes is with Kaleida Hospitals. Mike, are you there?
Yep. Good evening, guys.
Hello. And can you tell us, do you have any of the victims from this tragedy at the Kaleida Hospitals?
We don't. Buffalo General Medical Center and Children's Hospital are about 1.5 miles from the shooting scene. So obviously when we first heard the news, we activated our teams to make sure we were prepared. Unfortunately, there were only 2 transports. Both went to ECMC. So, at this point, we don't have any transports.
Wait a minute, Mike. This is new information. When you say 2 transports, we have been hearing multiple people wounded. Are you saying only 2 people were wounded and taken from that scene?
That's the reports we have at this point. Obviously, this stuff is still kind of unfolding, but at this point, we have been told that 2 have gone to ECMC by ambulance. Now, there may have been others that have gone by car. I'm just talking about officially by ambulance. Nobody has walked into Buffalo General or Children's, nor have they transported by ambulance to Buffalo General or Children's. So, again, some have gone by ambulance, but some others may have gone by car.
Oh, that is really shocking news and disturbing news. If only 2 wounded people were taken from the scene still alive there.
Mike, could you talk about the preparations that Kaleida Health Hospitals that they are taking in terms of perhaps maybe support for other medical facilities right now?
Yeah, the medical campus is only 1.5 miles away from the shooting scene, and there's a couple of the 33.
Okay, did we lose Mike? Did we lose you? All right. Well, what we found out there is that no other victims at the Kaleida Hospitals here. 2 wounded and taken to ECMC. Overall, now I'm being told 13 people shot, 10 of them are dead. This is just such a dark day.
That's amazing. It completely validates everything we're doing here.
Talking about what? I want to know. You guys are all laughing. The whole house is up in the chairs laughing. I want to know. I come on stage and stop laughing. Why? And, the guy, he's scared to death to say anything.
But I mean, you were like twice as big as him.
No, well, that don't mean nothing. He had the system of intimidation down like a science.
Really?
He had it down to a science.
How? What were his methods?
Not talking. God language is language without making sounds.
Yeah.
So you understand if he's mad or not.
Look at that.
Oh, look at me. I'm just a little boy. So happy to be with this guy. Look how big I am at 14.
You're 14 then?
Yeah, look how big I am.
Yeah, you're enormous.
Baby Huey.
So did he, pardon my bad memory, did he live to see you become...
No, he died a year before. Not even less than a year.
Really?
8, 9 months, something like that.
And he, by that point, I think was your guardian, right?
Yeah, my mother signed me over to him before she died.
How old were you when she died?
16.
16. So he wasn't just your coach, he was your mentor and your leader.
Yeah, if I didn't make them fight, I still had to be there. You know what I mean? I couldn't go. I still had to, maybe I had to get a job, but I still had to be there.
Did you live with him?
Yeah, I think I was 13.
You lived at his house?
Yeah.
That's so different.
Hey, listen. Anytime I saw a white guy was a judge, a cop, he was a victim. And I come to this guy's house, and this guy showed me love. And wow, love is powerful.
So he didn't treat you like a victim?
No, he didn't treat me like nobody but a family member. Matter of fact, at the time it was what, 81, 80, and there was some South African boxers training there because it was a training camp.
Yeah.
And he went and told them, said, listen, we have a black boy here, he's our son, he's our family. You treat him like you treat us. And once he said that, this is over.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But every other white authority member you came into contact with treated you like a victim except him?
Well, I deserved to be treated like a victim because I was victimizing them.
Yeah.
So my whole interaction with white people was confrontational.
Yeah. But not with him. It's interesting that you submitted.
He's from a bad neighborhood. He's seen it all. When I met him, he was what, 69 or 68? But listen, the fact is that he just instilled different. Nobody in the world could reach the core of me like him. Nobody in the world but him. I don't know how he did it, but nobody, it's crazy, scary.
Amazing, because people think of you as scary.
He was very scary. Listen, that's how come I scared him. He had the signs of intimidation down. Man, he had it down, man. He had intimidation down to a science.
Incredible.
I beat guys without even hitting them. And I wanted them to give up a glass. I'm gonna fight. I want to show. The guy missed the guy. I didn't even hit him. He got scared and took a dive. No, some guys I didn't hit, they took a dive. I'm seeing. I'm telling everybody.
I believe that.
Scared to death.
I remember it. And you were considered not just the most powerful boxer, but also the scariest human being in the world.
Well, I had to be the scariest human being in the world at that time in my life. At this time, I don't.
Right, of course. So I was thinking last night, you not only became this famous boxer, but you also became this, icon and incredibly famous around the world while still a teenager. What was that like?
Unhealthy.
Yeah.
Really unhealthy because I believe I owned everything. Because they made me believe that.
Yeah.
Everybody, you're my God, you're this, you did that, you're a little kid, you don't understand that stuff.
Yeah.
So you act out. When I learned about Alcoholics Anonymous and I used to read the book, and I realized relapse happens when you're really happy too.
Yes.
When you're really sad and when you're really happy. So you have to be somewhere in between. You have to have that balance because too much of both of them cause you to relapse.
Yes.
And that's what I read in the book.
So if you look at the trajectory of your life, I mean, it's almost unbelievable that you're still here and in your right mind.
No, it's not unbelievable. I'm ordained by God to be here. None of this is impossible. It's navigated that way.
Was there ever a moment when you thought, you're done?
Never. And when I did, I do that to feel sorry for myself. And then I look in the mirror and see how beautiful I am and think, how could somebody truly be better than me? Really. That's my insecurity. And my mirror is my security.
Interesting. What year was it that you won the world champion?
86.
86. And then when did you win it again?
96.
96. So how many years, so you had 20 years boxing.
Well, I did the 20-year career, yes.
So almost nobody else had a career that long.
Well, listen, they may have had it that long, but they didn't lose 3 years of their life and then come back and win it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never happened. How were you able to do that?
It's ordained by God for me to do that. No, I'm not being funny. I'm not being a religious freak. It's meant for this to happen to me. I'm meant to deal with adversity too, real bad adversity, because I'm real tough.
So one of the things I was struck by in our conversations was when I asked you about bad things that happened, you going to jail, for example, you didn't seem bitter about it, and you looked at you described the positive parts of it.
I didn't know how many people loved me.
Really?
Yeah.
I
had no idea how many people, and it's embarrassing how many people cared and cried about me in prison when I was in there.
People who came to visit?
No, people, the inmates.
Really?
Crying, because I've been there.
You told me last night, or your wife told me, which I just absolutely loved, that your cellmate wound up becoming a part of your life. You became close to him.
Absolutely, he became my kid's uncle and stuff. My kids love him, they give him a hard time, yeah.
So that was 25 years ago at least.
About 27, 28.
27, okay. And he's still in your life?
Absolutely. Because he was in my life there, and he was valuable for me there, and he was valuable for me when he came home. The reason why people are in your life because they bring value.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Only reason I'm successful is because I'm valuable. I'm not valuable because I'm successful.
Right. But so you met guys in reform school and later who were incarcerated who were good people.
Yeah, I know people in prison. I knew people that I knew that been in prison. They've been in federal prison with them. A lot of people there that have been in federal prison with people I grew up with. And so they knew me pretty much from other people.
Really? So there was like a whole network already there when you got there.
Yes.
Were you afraid going there?
No, I wasn't afraid because well, I don't even like saying this because most of my life, my juvenile life was in the penal system.
Yes.
So, and I hate even saying this.
That's all right. I mean,
it's just when I go in a place like that, I flourish so much, and it makes me sick to even say that. But the place like that, I just flourish. That's just what. That's what I implicitly know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I go in there, I know the look they have put on. I know the movement. I know the move. It's in me so much. Yeah.
So when you went away as an adult, you believed then and believe now, and for whatever it's worth, I agree with you that you got shafted. So you'd think I shouldn't be here in the first place, and yet you flourished there anyway?
Yes. Yes. Anything besides being free,
I
had there.
And how did people treat you?
The way I treated them, with a great deal of respect.
That's interesting.
Listen, when I'm in prison, I'm the kind of guy, I'm getting so many male women, so I'm giving guys, next thing you know, these guys are marrying these girls come on visits, they get pregnant by these guys, they got babies, and these guys love me because they would have never had a kid if it wasn't for me. And they still in prison.
Wait, you were a matchmaker in prison?
Absolutely. I got so many people calling me, I can't write them all. So I'm saying, hey, you want to talk to them? So I call them, hey, this is my friend, boom. Next thing you know, they're married.
I didn't realize. So you did not waste the time.
No, I was, like I was saying before, I had a publicist, I had a secretary.
In prison?
Yeah, I had an enforcer.
Who was your publicist?
Fareed, my guy that became, he was my publicist. It was this other guy that was like, my secretary. He always wrote people back and offered, like, cause a lot of people called me and offered money. You need anything for your legal fee, is anything you need? And the guy, he been there for like 20 years, and so he's reading these letters, and he goes, Mike, you don't know how to read, do you? I said, what you mean I know how to read? Look at my book. Of course I know how to read. He said, no, I don't mean that. You don't know how to read letters. Like the lady said, now if there's anything you need, anything I could do for you, just please let me know. That means she's willing to give you money, Mike. I said, really? So this guy did a scam where he said he was me, and he said, please, would you be kind enough to send me $100 every week? And all this money started coming in my name, and I got scared. And I got scared that eventually they found out it wasn't me. Because the guy said, Mike, can you go visit him for me, man? Because the girl came to visit me, the people. And he said, Mike, go visit them for me, Mike. Go visit them for me. They think I'm useful. So I think I want to get involved. I want to see this. I want to visit. So I went down there, and I saw the girl, and the girl was so mad at me. Just looking at me mean and mad. I'm like, what? And so I stopped the visit. I said, hey, I'm ready to go. And so I stopped the visit. I went up there. And then the next thing you know, like a week later, he's handcuffed. He's shipped away from extortion. Like they thought it was extortion. They're sending money in my name, but it was going to him.
Oh.
And they found out because the girl told, and they shipped him out. Wow. He had jewelry on, everything, rings, necklace, and they shipped him out. But I said, yeah, try it, because I wanted to see, try my name. I'm not going to get involved. And they knew it wasn't my handwriting, so they shipped him out. I was like, whoa.
So there's a whole world. So you were like running a whole society in prison then.
It was interesting. It's really interesting. I'm working with everyone. Blood, Crip, Aryan Nation, everybody.
You work with the Aryan Nation?
Everybody, we're all working together. Yeah, everybody's working. Everybody's getting money because I'm the only guy making money in there. So this guy up here got all my food here. He got food here. It's like 10 different cells that have my food in there to sell people. It's just really interesting.
How did you stay in shape in jail?
Oh, worked out every day, 3 times a day. I stay in my room and run in place for like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, when we're locked in. Sometimes we get locked in, somebody gets stabbed, something happens, somebody hurt bad. So we stay in our room for like a week, so I just run in place.
Did you ever fear getting stabbed in prison?
I feared somebody else getting stabbed for getting involved or trying to bother me or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you can't control these guys. These guys just go off and do things. They're not controlled. They see an altercation, they just go right into it. It's not like, hey, Mike, is everything okay? What is this all about? That's not how it works.
Oh, it's pretty quick justice then.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. We're all locked up together. We're all suffering together. We should all eat and live together. That's why I always made sure everybody had everything. This guy won't have to kill this guy because this guy owes him money. So I made sure everybody had everything in my little organization there.
When you went away, you were one of the, truly one of the most famous people in the world. And then you are locked in this place where you're cut off. What was that like?
I needed that so bad. I needed to be away. What happened to me was God said I needed to be away. All my friends were dying from AIDS and robbery and, get over drugs and stuff. So that worked out pretty good, Tucker. That worked out pretty good.
It's a wonderful way to see it, I think.
Pretty good.
So of the people you grew up with, your friends, how many are still around?
There's a few. I'm talking about the ones that are functioning.
Yeah.
There's a handful I've seen. We're not meant to survive. The world we come from, we move too fast. We burn out fast. We're not meant to survive. 24 hours, we're wind up.
Yeah.
We never rest. We're just not made to survive. We're too daring. We're too bold.
So it's really, of the guys you grew up with, there are really just a few left.
Yeah, but the ones that are left are very tight with me, and I hold them real close because I worry about them. Listen, these guys are coming out of prison at 40 years and 35 years, and one of my friends, he's dealing with the worst situation out of all because he's coming out because he was locked up wrongfully. Now he sued the city and he has a couple of $1 million. And that's worse than coming out and having nothing. He never had that money in his life. He's always trying to give me gifts because he never had money. He's not used to having money before. And I try to tell him, my wife, why don't you just try to put it in the bank and get a percentage every month or something.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life. He's never done that. This guy's been in crime all his life, and next thing you know, boom, he's a multimillionaire. And he doesn't know what to do sometimes.
Is he taking your advice?
It's very hard to somebody to learn from somebody else's mistakes. Sometimes you have to touch the stove to know it's hot.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely right. So what are the mistakes that have brought you wisdom and peace after this long, eventful life?
I'm always searching for wisdom and peace. But I just think my journey started, even though I wasn't totally off drugs, but it started when my daughter died. I had a 4-year-old daughter that passed away, and it started after that. I started clicking my head. I wanted to do something for her. I don't know what, but be successful for her, something. But I guess that's what it was, because I'm successful now. But that inspired me.
I mean, what a roller coaster your life has been. What did you start thinking after your daughter passed?
That should have been there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have stopped anything, probably, but I should have been there her last breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty tricky.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky, that's for sure. What role has God played in your life?
Well, listen, I can't even express that because everything that's happening now, this is who navigated me. To you, to her. It's just what it is. I can't even say that. It's tricky when I say God. God is everything.
Did you grow up thinking about God? Did you grow up in a world where people believed in God?
I grew up in a totally Catholic world, then turned to Christian. Listen, my whole family are Christians and Catholic. I don't have no Muslims in my biological family.
Yeah.
And I come from the preacher family. I come from the deacon family. My whole family. And down south in North Carolina, there's churches that my family founded in slavery.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't want to get too personal about your family, but you told me last night that you have a sibling who's been very successful and came from the same world you came from. So the odds of that, so you said you have very...
Yeah, my brother's, he's a trauma specialist.
You have a doctor? And,
yes.
Which is great, but considering where you grew up, it's pretty unusual. 2 boys in the same family both become successful.
This is interesting. Both people saw potential in me and my brothers. Some teachers saw a potential in him. They helped him with his grades. He was very intelligent. And they just Cuz took a liking to me, they took a liking to him, and he became very successful. He went to the Navy, he represented our country, and that's just what he's all about. He truly believes in that. He has that doctor mentality.
Yes.
You know, and that's just who he is. If you didn't know us, you wouldn't think we were brothers. We're totally different people, totally live on two different sides of the world.
Yeah, I don't think most people know that Mike Tyson's brother is a trauma surgeon.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But it's very, very interesting. So tell me about your wife, Kiki.
Well, I don't know. God blessed me with somebody I don't even deserve. I'm just very lucky.
Tell us about the story. And I actually asked her earlier if she wanted to come on because she's such a huge part of your life in a way that's really striking. And she said she preferred not to. But tell us about when you met.
Well, listen, I think I was 21 and I talked to her on the phone. She must have been 12 or 11. I don't remember that, but I remember, I could picture that. She remembered that. I didn't remember that. And then I guess...
Because you knew her family.
Yeah. And I guess I went to prison. And I came back, and then I seen her, and she was older. But I didn't know her that well. I didn't know that was her friend. Well, I didn't know that was your mother. But then I said, yo, who's that? And the two people I had working with said, Mike, that's trouble. Leave that alone right there.
What?
Leave that alone. And I said, I like trouble because, you know, her parents are pretty aggressive in that time of life. And they're really strong in that moment in life. And so Don King was a little bit intimidated. And then, because I was a young guy, when I was 20 years old, man, nobody could tell me anything. So they said, that's trouble. I said, I like trouble. And then I started, I came in the room one day when she came to my room with my tigers. I had my tigers, but she seen my tigers before. But listen, so one day her pops was traveling and they said, Mike, we're in town. And I said, come on, let me come to my house. Don't stay in that crappy hotel. Because there wasn't really that great hotels around there. So I brought them over. She was around. And when she came over, that same day her family came over, I had my tigers, 4 little baby tigers, right? And they loved me. We played with them for a couple of hours, and that's how we became associated with one another. And then she went to Italy, and I was gonna come see Italy that week, but I broke my back and stuff on a motorcycle, and I couldn't come see her.
So then your lives take different directions, and then they come back together.
Yes. We were at a fight. I think it was Tito Trinidad, and she said, if you see Mike, give him my number. But the guy kept the number for herself. And then she saw me, and I saw him, and then she came and said, oh, Mike, she told me to give you this number. I thought this. But anyway, right? It's all cool. But anyway, I saw that day, she gave me a number. The next day, we hooked up. And then that was the beginning of the rest of our life together, periodically.
Why has that been so important, your marriage to Kiki?
Gratitude. I have a great deal of gratitude from her. She seen me, my wife seen me OD around 6 times.
Wow.
Seen me die and come back so many times.
You said to me last night about her, she loved me in my shame.
Absolutely. You can't find too many people to do that.
That's true.
You can't find that. And she does.
It's just interesting when people are married and people go through ups and downs, they go off the deep end and then they come back. Sometimes that wrecks the marriage.
No, because being with my wife, she makes me understand that my shame doesn't exist. It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. Everybody been through hard times. This world is pretty much made that no one gets out free. You have to suffer before you leave.
Yeah.
And that's just what it's about. I don't look at it as dealing with adversity being, wow, why me? I just think adversity makes the strong stronger and the weak weaker. And that's been my theory since life. If you can't handle adversity, you got to fall to the waist. You should look forward to that adversity. I look forward to it. It's uncomfortable and miserable, but it's like the truth. You know what I mean? It frees your soul, but it makes you feel miserable at first.
Yeah, that's true. One of the reasons I wanted to interview you is because you're the author of one of my favorite quotes ever in English, which is, everybody's got a plan till he gets hit in the face.
100%. Because people now, especially now, no one's gonna fight. People like talking now. They get on the stage, they get on YouTube, and they start talking.
Yeah.
And that's why some people are not made for handling criticism. They're just not made for. Some people go off the deep end if you criticize them.
Yes.
Some people just can't handle it. And some of the most powerful people in the world just can't handle it. They're not mature enough to handle criticism.
Have you gotten better at handling criticism as you've gotten older?
Yes, but mostly, yeah, but it's still, it can get even better. Sometimes I get in my head and think I'm somebody, and then I'm easily offended. But when I know I'm nobody, I could never be offended.
Boy, is that a deep insight. Sometimes I get in my head that I'm somebody and I'm easily offended, and then I remind myself I'm nobody and I'm not offended.
Exactly, 100%.
So if if you're that well known and everywhere you go, people are sucking up to you and taking pictures with you, how do you remind yourself, as you said, that actually I'm nobody?
Well, I don't know. God did this. I asked for this, and this is what He gave me. It's not like someone gave me something I didn't acquire. I wanted this life. I prayed for this life, and I received it.
But how do you stay humble and grounded in the middle of it?
I don't know what humble and grounded really means. That's words people made up. But I know I live my life not trying to harm nobody or hurt nobody, and show as much compassion and respect as possible that I can. And I think that's just as powerful as any religion in the world. Those are the qualities of all the religions. Love self and love everyone else. Constant love that's every religion, is love, and togetherness and happiness. That's every religion. No religion that I know of wants sorrow in your life. Be miserable. Miserable is the best thing. God loves miserable people and animals. You never hear that. It's all love. Life is love. Even from the people who are charlatans, it's all love. Everything's love. Hate is love. Everything's love. War is love. Knowing that you got my back, I got her back, she got her. It's all love. We're going war into love. It's all love. Everything's love.
So that was part one of our interview with Mike Tyson. The next half is even more unbelievable. He'll tell us about his famous fight with Evander Holyfield and his tigers, who he lived with at home for 14 years. Don't miss this.